just want to prepare mentally to what you want to do and to make sure you're up on that.
The newest Laker, Kareem Abdul Jabbar.
It's nice to be here.
He spent 20 seasons in the NBA. He was a six-time NBA champion. He is the all-time leading scorer in the league. The list goes on. And to boot, you played at UCLA. We welcome to the desk the legendary Kareem Abdul Jabbar. It is an honor to have you here, sir.
Nice to be here.
Welcome.
How's everything?
Welcome. Stephen A. Kareem is in the house.
What's up, big time?
Everything
What's
is good,
up, big
Stephen.
time? How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Listen,
How's everything?
I can't complain.
right off the bat, let's talk about
right.
Kobe Bryant. You've been on the record saying that Kobe has had, quote, a devastating injury.
Yes, he has.
And then when he comes back this season, it'll be a different Kobe. And the franchise, as well as fans, need to prepare. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, when you injure your Achilles the way Kobe did, it really it's devastating. And there's nothing you can do to get ready to come back. The rehab is very intense. It's very difficult, and that part of your body takes a lot of stress. So because of that, it takes a long time to come back. And if anybody's up to it and has the ability to do that, it would be Kobe, because he has a great work ethic and he's determined. But I don't think that he will be able to come back quickly. And when he does come back, he might not be the same athlete that he was before he got injured.
So how surprised would you be if the Lakers made the playoffs?
I won't be surprised if the Lakers make the playoffs, because they do have some talent there. But it will depend to a great deal on how well Kobe can rehab and how quickly he can do it. So it might not happen this season. A good friend of mine, Tiny Archibald, he's the only guy I know that was able to come back and do well and get back to his pre-injury status.
Dominique came back okay from it. He was pretty good after the Achilles.
Yeah, he was, but he still wasn't the same.
No, he wasn't explosive the way he was.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Kobe used that very effectively, and not having that it's really going to affect him.
Yep.
Stephen A., go ahead.
Well, one of the things that stood out in my mind, Kareem, is that, we've been hearing from Jim Buss, about how Kobe's ahead of schedule, and it wouldn't surprise him at all if Kobe was available opening day. Just the other day, we heard about Kobe possibly practicing this week. What do you make of all of these reports, all of the things coming out of Lakers camp? And do you think Kobe is going to try to be there opening night?
I don't know what he's going to try to do, but until I get a chance to see for myself where he's at physically, in real competition, practice, what have you, until I get to see that, I wouldn't be able to assess exactly, or give an estimate of, when he's going to be back and when he's going to be at full strength.
What would you advise? I mean, in terms of this injury, the way you sound, it's almost as if you wouldn't mind at all if he missed the entire season, or at least wait until after Christmas to come back. What exactly are your personal thoughts about what he should do?
Personally, I think he should just take however long it takes for him to come back at full strength. He can't make it happen any faster. You can't heal faster than Mother Nature allows you to. So we have to be patient. And I would, for all the Laker fans, I would urge them to be patient and understand that this is a tough road that Kobe's on, and to give him the opportunity to get back as far as he can, as quickly as he can.
Crazy question here. A lot of things were being mentioned about amnesty, because obviously Kobe's getting paid $30 million. Had they amnestied him, he would not have been able to come back this season, obviously, and the Lakers could have done some things with it. We even heard that Dwight asked about that. What were your thoughts about that in terms of what the Lakers should do pertaining to potentially amnestying Kobe at the time?
Well, I'm not up to speed on the various legal machinations involved, Stephen. So I couldn't comment on that.
Allow me to switch to Dwight Howard, because I did bring up his name. When he decided to leave to go to Houston, There is a quote from you that I have right in front of me, Kareem Abdul Jabbar, and it says here, quote, Dwight Howard is a perfect example of the fact that, quote, potential has a shelf life, end quote. I'd like you to elaborate on what you meant when you said that at the time, and why did you say that?
Well, I said that because when the Lakers signed Dwight, they had very high hopes for what he could contribute to the team. And, you know, Dwight is an extraordinary athlete. He has incredible athletic ability. But basketball is a game where the most important muscle that you use on the court is the one between your ears. Dwight's basketball IQ is not up to speed for him to be a dominant player. He has problems at both ends of the court. He doesn't have a go-to move. I had to prepare Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum to play against Dwight in the playoffs in 2009 for the World Championship. And it was an easy job because if you take certain things away from him, he doesn't have an answer for it. So he needs to develop some skills at both ends of the court that would enable him to consistently contribute to a winning effort. And he hasn't done that. And he's a wonderful young man. He's intelligent. He's charismatic. He speaks well. But that does not mean that he has the ability to get on the court and do certain things consistently that will enable his team to win.
But before you speak again, Stephen, I've got to start applauding this man for what he just said, because that was sheer basketball brilliance from the master.
And in addition
Well, first of all,
okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kareem.
No, in addition to that, he needs to get to the point where he will devote some time to developing those skills, or he's always going to be on the verge of greatness, but he won't get to step across the line. And you know, that's on him. I'm not here to put him down, but that's what I saw. I don't think he was a failure, but he was a disappointment. And you know, if I were a general manager, I would rather have a player on my team like Marc Gasol, who understands the game. He might not be as gifted physically, but he knows how to play the game, and he knows how to help his team win, and that's what the Lakers need. So, you know, I was just letting the Laker fans know that they didn't have to boo-hoo that much, because
Don't lament the loss of Dwight Howard is what you're saying.
It's not something to regret that much. He's not going to be the person that they wanted him to be.
I get that, and I certainly am not qualified to challenge anything that you said. You're the greatest scorer in NBA history. You're a six-time champion, one of the greatest players to have ever played. Let me be very, very clear about my profound respect for you. But as a pundit, as a commentator, as a journalist, we sit back and we're looking at and listening to what you just said and what you said in the immediate aftermath of him departing from L.A. That was not something that we heard you say before that time. How much of him leaving the Lakers, a team and a franchise that you're still connected to, who's about to erect a statue for you, which, by the way, was well deserved, how much of that factors into the equation? The fact that he left your Lakers.
I didn't have any issue with that. I was hoping that he was going to be a significant contributor. I actually met with him one time and, you know, offered to help him work on some things, and he could, you know, pick my brain. He didn't respond in a positive way, and, you know, that was his choice. But I didn't say anything prior to this because I wanted to give him a chance to get acclimated and hopefully figure out what he needed to do. Stephen, let me ask you one question. Do you want Dwight Howard in the game at the end of the game where he's going to get fouled and the game is on the line? Do you want him in the game? You're the coach. No,
because he couldn't hit free throws.
Okay.
But Shaq couldn't hit free throws. Wilt Chamberlain couldn't hit free throws.
Right.
And I'm not comparing them to them, but I'm saying that my reason would be because he couldn't hit free throws, not because I have a question about his basketball IQ.
Well, if you have a high basketball IQ, you know that you have to work on that skill if you're going to win games. San Antonio would have the World Championship trophy in their trophy bin right now if a certain player on their team could hit free throws. It's a very crucial,
two certain players, but
it's a very crucial skill for this game. And if you can't figure that out, what is your IQ all about?
Okay, let's switch
Go ahead,
back to
Skip.
Kareem Abdul Jabbar's basketball IQ. It is highly regarded around the NBA. Your teaching skills highly regarded
is.
by most except for Dwight Howard. Why, in your mind, have you not been offered a head coaching job?
I think it has to do with politics. I'm not going to, lament that for the rest of my life. I've moved on, and I've had certain players have come to me and asked me to help them out. Joakim Noah came to me. We spent about 10 or 15 days in the gym last summer.
This past or two summers?
12.
Okay.
Summer of 12.
Yeah.
And it really helped him. I was so happy to see his game improve, and he was able to contribute to the Bulls in a more significant way. Nice young man, and got the right attitude, came to the right person to find out what he needed to know about the game.
So you're coaching in a different way.
In a different way, and it was better because I got a chance to know him, and
That's good.
I made a friend.
Beautiful.
It was great.
Okay, one last quick issue that we debate often on this show. Hypothetical, in primes, who would win a one-on-one competition between Michael Jordan and Kobe, Michael Jordan and LeBron, and I would like to include one other player in that competition. Hypothetically, you versus Michael Jordan in a hypothetical one-on-one match. In your primes, what would happen?
Well, the way it would work would be that Michael would score at will on the perimeter, and I would score at will in the paint. And we'll never find out anything about this because we can't both get out there in our primes. So this is for people to argue about in sports bars where they get some wings and a few beers and they argue about this because we're never ever going to find this.
Okay, argue with my opinion. I actually think you would dominate Michael in one-on-one, just on size and skill. He just could not deal with you in the paint consistently. He would miss some shots from the perimeter. I'm not sure you would miss any shots in the paint.
Well, yeah, because I would be getting high percentage shots very close to the basket. Michael's strength was on the perimeter. But I think there's one person that should be in those matchups that you just described that would have whipped everybody, and that was Oscar Robertson.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, Oscar was awesome.
Okay.
And, people forget about him because there's not a lot of film of him, but
Sure.
Oscar was awesome.
You won a title with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was on the downside of his
He
career.
was.
And he still was able to run our offense in Milwaukee and take us.
Let's switch gears
final.
here for a minute. Author of The Skyhook, now you have written a new book loosely based on your childhood.
Yes.
It's called Sasquatch in the Paint. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's about kids trying to learn the game right there as they approach adolescence and trying to figure out what their life's going to be about. As you approach adolescence, all of a sudden you start thinking about things that you've never thought about before. So the main character, Theo, has a growth spurt, just like I did. I grew 10 inches in 2 years.
Wow.
And my body hurt, and everybody was telling me that you should play basketball, and I liked baseball at that point, but they were telling me I should play basketball, and I had to try and figure that out. Also, he's good in the classroom. He's academically gifted, so he's trying to figure out, should he pursue that? Should it be hoops? What's life about? Am I going to disappoint my parents?
Yeah.
He didn't want to get bullied. There's a lot of criticism. There's a girl in the book she's the one that gives him the name Sasquatch because she watches him play right there where he has no skills, and she says he looks like Sasquatch trying to play basketball. So that's more or less what it's about.
Well,
So it's
ultimately.
fiction
But
based
loosely
on
based on
some
his-
facts.
Loosely
Yeah.
based on my life.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Kareem Abdul Jabbar, it has been a pleasure to have you here at the desk. You're welcome back anytime, especially if you'd like to talk to Lakers and why we're
Or
so
Dwight
great.
Howard.
Or Dwight Howard for this one.
Right, and I'll meet Stephen A. Right out there on Francis Lewis Boulevard. Stephen.
That's right, Stephen A. Take you to the hole.
We'll go
That's
out-
right. I'll be there tonight.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Coming up, folks, we asked you earlier.